Hello! What's up, you guys? Welcome to FLEXJ Anime and to another reaction video of My Hero Academia. Okay. I cannot wait until the soundtrack is out for this season. I'm gonna be just having it on replay. Constant. I loved the last episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. This week has been difficult. It has felt so long waiting since the last episode, but I'm so excited. I have another new shirt today, always representing, and yeah, I'm ready. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I really don't know where this is gonna go and how we're gonna end. It feels like 2 episodes is insane. I feel like we need so many more. I guess I'm about to find out. But there's a pretty big discussion that needs to be had. There's a lot of things that I want to say. I want to share something personal with you guys as well. So yeah, tuck in, get ready for that. And then we'll head into the episode. So of course, you guys know I'm gonna want to talk about a few things before we dive into this episode. There's like a plethora of things and different discussions that we can have within this entire series, these characters, and this final season. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for being here with me. I can't believe that we are so close to the end of this season. I'm trying my best to be positive right now and not sink into misery, but this week was difficult. Actually being a part of this My Hero Academia community week by week, and oh my gosh, all of the edits that everyone is making, all of the fan art, everything that has just been sort of suffocating me, to be honest. I am so fixated. I do occasionally get these hyperfixations if it's a specific show or specific characters or story that I really love. And right now, guys, I am very hyperfixated on My Hero Academia. A few things that I want to call out, and I cannot wait, as always, to read your guys' comments. Your comments in the last video were amazing. I have another shirt here that I'm absolutely obsessed with. My boys Bakugo and Deku. I'm gonna talk about them, but first, I want to just comment on the Uraraka moment from the last episode that got me confused. There was like a translation, not error, but it was just lost in translation, what that moment meant. And Deku, when he stopped, and I think he noticed how she's not really being herself. I had to sit with a lot of moments this week because everything's pretty shocking and it's quite difficult to digest, to comprehend, to process. That this is episode 10 that we're about to head into, and we have 1 episode left, plus a bonus OVA that I am really hoping is released very soon after the season finale, because I need to know what's in it, because I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel about this ending and how they're going to wrap things up within 2 episodes. I think that's where a lot of my nerves are coming from, is how it feels like there's no way we can be done right now. There's so much to unravel. There's a lot to unpack. We just finished a war. It was the culmination of all of these seasons, of everything that we've been working up towards. So yeah, it's a lot to process. But that moment where Deku stopped, it was Deku and Shoto was like, hey Deku, are you okay, basically. I think that Deku noticed that Uraraka is not really herself. I think he's usually pretty good at that. And yeah, I had to sit with a lot of things over the week, including this moment, to try to understand what it meant. But I don't think that she's happy with how things ended. She almost died, and I think that she feels like she failed in saving Toga. I would really like to know what's on her mind and how she's doing. It doesn't seem like she's doing good. I think she's just like putting on a brave face, and I think Deku noticed that. Hopefully they can have a conversation. There's a lot of different conversations that need to happen. Bakugo and Deku have not acknowledged the fact that Bakugo died, and Deku saw that. Like, how is Bakugo processing all of that and everything that's happened to him? How are both of these boys processing anything? How is the whole class processing anything? I think that it's gonna take a while. And I thought it was really funny how we got that scene in the hospital, which I do want to talk a bit about character-wise with Bakugo and Deku now that I've had a week to sort of sit with it. But afterwards, when we are like back at school and there's the graduation where I'm so happy that we saw that class graduate. I love the big 3. They're amazing. I think that they're going to go on to become incredible heroes. I feel like not enough is usually said about them because we're always focused on our class. But I just want to say massive shout out to those three. Really, really like all of them as a character. And I love that Lemillion was the one giving the speech. Of course he would. I'm wishing them all of the best. I love, though, that Bakugo was taking his doctor's advice so seriously. Also, that maybe he was, I don't know how many drugs he's on. Maybe he's on a few. Maybe he was sent home with a lot, depending on his pain and everything that's going on with his entire body, his arm, his heart. It's crazy to even think about. So, yeah, maybe he's a bit drugged, but also I think it was really cute and very mature of him to, whenever we saw him in a scene, even when he was in the background or whatever, he was being calm and it was funny. He's kind of just like there. I couldn't help but wonder, like, man, is he okay? Like, what is he thinking? There's a lot to think about while also trying to stay calm and like take care of his heart. Processing the fact that you died and came back. Processing the fact that Deku lost his Quirk, which, you know, I gotta talk to you guys about that. But yeah, processing a lot. So it was very cute to see Bakugo in this different way, just sort of very muted, very non-reactive. Also want to give a shout out to Shoto and how happy he seems. I'm so happy that he has managed to find a family within 1A, within all of these kids. He's able to find his own path and his own meaning, and just the entire character arc that Shoto has gone through since when we first met him. It's been a long road, and I'm just happy that Shoto knows who he is now and accepts himself fully, has made amends with both his mother and his father. He's on a pretty healthy relationship with his entire family. And at the end of the last episode, said to them with full confidence and a smile on his face, I want you guys to know I'm gonna be okay. You don't have to worry about me. Worry about your own thing, your atonement, whatever you plan on doing. But just know that I'm okay. I'm really happy for him. And I don't talk about Shoto enough because there's so many things happening with so many other characters. And Shoto was originally, and I think still is, you know, one of my favorite 3 characters. I might have to like reevaluate all of my favorite characters at the end of all of this. But originally, yeah, it was Deku, Shoto, and Bakugo. And they've shifted a bit, you know, since season 1 and 2. But I'm just so happy to see him happy. I'm also wondering if anything is going to happen with Uraraka and all of these feelings, this crush that she seems to have that has been hinted at for several seasons now. It's like, okay, we have 2 episodes left. Is nothing gonna happen with that? I feel like I need a moment with her to understand, like, where are we gonna leave this? There's a lot of characters where I can assume, but I really can't assume what's gonna happen there, you know? So hopefully the anime fleshes that out. I'm gonna briefly comment on this. I guess some of you want to know what I think of Deku's hair, and all I'm gonna say is he is adorable no matter what. It doesn't bother me that much. I just think that, like, you know, like, just poor Deku. He had surgery. He's healing. I'm not judging his hair, but what I am upset about that I didn't realize until people were pointing it out in the comments are his freckles. His entire cheek was just like gorged out. There's this huge, he's, my poor baby boy is so messed up. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I'm like, okay, it's not just the hair. There's something else. Yeah, there's scars, but there's something else. It's the freckles. R.I.P. freckles. He only has it on the one side, and the other side is just completely scarred up. So that's depressing. I don't really want to talk about this either, because I'm still processing it, but him not having a Quirk anymore is devastating. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it, and I'm gonna see how I continue feeling as I go into this next episode. I'm gonna make myself cry just talking about it. I can feel that. I feel it. So I'm gonna just put it back over there on my shelf of things. But right now, guys, I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm still processing the fact that I might never see him animated in any like epic fight sequence ever again. Like, how do you go from soaring through the air and moving like faster than the speed of light to nothing, to stagnant, to just sitting, to just like being. I know that he's healing, I know he's recovering, but like, where do we go from here? So I'm waiting for the show to show me what the story is before I begin to like say what I wish would have happened, or saying that I'm upset with this outcome, because I don't know what's gonna happen next. I'm still hopeful, maybe too hopeful, but I'm hopeful that he can somehow still become some kind of hero. He said that there's still that ember, and I'm wondering what is gonna come of that. Okay guys, I do need to talk about Bakugo. I do need to talk about it because it is probably the most interesting character arc. Not just interesting, complicated. It's one of the most complicated character arcs. His growth and his journey and understanding his emotional reaction in the last episode and how he got there and what those tears were about. And then the fact that Bakugo and Deku shared a smile like that. There was just a lot that happened that I've been very emotional about. And I'm gonna try my best to get through this without breaking, but it's difficult to verbalize it. And I've seen so many amazing comments. Thank you guys so much for sharing your thoughts and your opinions on everything. I firstly want to quickly shout out Bakugo's voice actor and the incredible work that he did. I think I even shouted him out and several others in the last episode as well. You know, Toya's voice actor, haunting. Deku's always amazing, you know, but there was something about Bakugo crying. There was something that the voice actor was doing where I think it was very intentional, where you can hardly even understand what he was saying. And the way that his voice was breaking, I think the voice actor literally took into consideration the physical pain Bakugo would be in, how he has this chest brace on. Like, he just had really intense surgery, everything going on with his body, the painkillers that he might be on, the shock, and the way that crying has an effect on your body, and then to try and speak while you're crying too, to do that while you're also in so much pain that it could have been hurting his chest or Bakugo's heart, is devastating to even think about. So I wanted to give a shout out to that, and if you didn't consider that, maybe go back and take a listen, because it really sounds like he is in physical pain as well as like emotional agony. The fact that Bakugo said, what have I done to you? I'm really surprised that he said that. That's something I've been trying to process this whole week since the last episode aired. The fact that he said, what have I done to you, is huge. That implies that he feels guilty and that he is partly responsible for Deku laying in that bed corkless right now. The fact that that came out of his mouth and he said that. And then also how beautiful it was that Deku said, this isn't like you. What's going on? And then began to try to console Bakugo, even though Deku was the one that lost a quirk. Deku was the one that lost his dream to become this hero, to have a quirk, to have a hero, to all, you know, everything that the entire show has been about. For Deku to look at Bakugo and say, it's okay, it was like an amazing dream. It was like a dream. I think if you look at it from Bakugo's perspective, I'm wondering if Bakugo almost feels like Deku should be more upset or like angry about the fact that this happened to him. I think that Bakugo would be angry if that happened to him. So Bakugo trying to understand Deku's reaction, Deku's heart. Just thinking about these two characters and what they both appreciate and look up to within each other. Deku being like his heart. He has the heart of a hero. He's such a kind person. And we've always seen throughout the whole series, Bakugo witness to that. He's always been witness to Deku's kindness. Even if he hasn't accepted it, or he's trying to process it, or he doesn't really understand it, he's seen it and he's heard it, and he's constantly seen Deku always being so self-sacrificing. I think Izuku and Bakugo probably know each other better than anyone, and I think Izuku knows Bakugo is very prideful and very sensitive, and on the other hand, I think that Bakugo knows Izuku and how self-sacrificing and how good of a heart he has. You know, it's sort of like you walk in, you say, wait a minute, what are you telling me? Are you quirkless right now? I thought we were gonna do this forever. I thought that we were going to continue to push each other because Bakugo realizes how much Deku looks up to him. And then I think that Bakugo uses that as inspiration to continue to be better. If you have someone that like looks up to you and wants to be better than you, but is also so different from you and has strengths that you realize that you don't have yourself, like they both have things the other person respects in each other and is almost like lacking a bit, or finds a bit complicated to deal with. And I wanted to bring up how I think Bakugo, part of his tears and part of him saying like, well, what have I done? Finally, we were getting along. I understand like my past mistakes, and he's been working on being a better person and a better friend slash, rival to Deku, constantly pushing each other forward, using each other as inspiration. I think that Bakugo realized that maybe it was all a little too late. Too little too late. Because he just accepted Deku as a friend. He just stopped trying to push him away, and he just began to accept him and to get along with him. They both look up to All Might, right? They both want to prove themselves as heroes, which they basically just did. They're basically the greatest heroes at this point with what has happened within the war, it being over because of them. So it's like, now what? And I think that while Bakugo has always wanted to prove himself to All Might, I think he's also wanting to prove himself to Deku a little bit as well. And he wanted the two of them to reach new heights together through this rivalry. And I think the biggest thing right now is that there's guilt there of time wasted, of just being foolish. I think that his death experiencing all of this, dying, even before that, right before he died, he was talking about like, yeah, let's do it together as a team, where he never used to talk about that stuff at all. It was him and everyone else was extras. I just recently posted my reaction to episode 11 of season 7, and just him saying like, we're gonna do this all together, him using Izuku as inspiration, like, well, I gotta fight, I gotta win. Just the complete mental shifts from when we first met him and through half of the show. He finally, before he died, began to think of things as like a team effort. Like he finally apologized to Deku. Then he went and died. They haven't talked about like any of this. He was saved, he came back, and then both of them saved the day with one look. It was so amazing. But I think this hospital moment in the last episode, it was the first moment where all three of these characters were in a room together, sort of like, yeah, that happened, and all of the emotions I think were coming out, even though not a lot of words were being said. And it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole show. It was so endearing hearing Deku say, this isn't like you. Like, what's going on? Why are you crying and saying these things? This is not like you at all. And even when Bakugo began to call Deku Izuku, Deku even said like, it's okay, you don't have to call me that. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's so cute. I love their relationship and how it's developed through time. But yeah, I think at a certain point among all of that chaos, maybe it wasn't about being stronger or being better anymore for Bakugo. Maybe it was more about the fun of competing and pushing each other. How that last moment in the battle in episode 8, where he was simultaneously pushing Deku forward and then also saying, don't let me catch up to you, you damn nerd. Don't let me catch up to you, Izuku. It's just fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. I also saw a comment that said about Deku that it's not about whether he'll be a hero, but about how he became the greatest hero. And he did. Now he's quirkless, but he was quirkless in the beginning. And so I think that's what he means when he looks at Bakugo and says it was like an amazing dream. He had the opportunity of a lifetime and did as much as he could with it. Did not take it for granted for 1 second. See, I'm getting emotional. And he became the greatest hero with it. So, going into this episode, I want to learn about like what is next for Deku and if he's going to be able to continue being a hero. But he has absolutely inspired an entire generation, not just by being the strongest hero, but him as a person, how kind he is and how he's always reaching out a hand. And I think that is such a huge theme within this whole series, reaching out a hand. And with Bakugo, I think through his growth, through the whole series, he's learned that it's not just about personal victory. He, through this whole time, has had to learn what being a hero really means. If you go back and look at every single Bakugo moment in the entire series, you'll see that. He has had to calm down his ego. He's had to mature, responsibilities and the responsibility of being a hero and what that means. And that makes so much sense because when you're young, you think, oh, I just have to be the best. I have to be the strongest, He almost felt like a peacock, right? He was like very just loud and like, I'm the best. I'm the biggest new thing and I'm gonna land on the scene. It's my time. It's my turn. He was like that kind of kid. And that doesn't mean he can't also be sensitive inside. He's very sensitive. He's very smart, very analytical, but his ego is too big. And I think the beautiful thing about it is that his ego has been tamed and he's been allowed to process a lot. And I want to have a conversation about Bakugo and Best Jeanist. Maybe, depending on what happens in this episode, I might save it for the end of the episode because this is already running long, guys. And I really want to watch this episode. Some final thoughts before we head into the episode. I've already said a bit about what I'm hoping to see, but I'm nervous about if Bakugo wanted to do Bakugo and Deku pushing each other and becoming, the top rank heroes and always sort of having each other to push to the next level and keep inspiring. I think it's really important to have that person that inspires you within the field that you're working in. If you're at the top and there's no one else around you to push you to be better or to change up your thought process, you can get complacent, you can get a bit stuck up, you can get bored. There's a lot of things that can happen. If you're the best, there's no one else around you that can sort of challenge that. That can get boring. So I'm wondering what is going to happen for Bakugo in the future. I know that his arm, we should talk about his arm for a minute. Yes, his heart, but his arm. So he wanted to keep his arm. I think he's going to have to do a lot of rehab. Like the doctor said, he's going to have to train a lot. And I did see people saying his reaction to hearing that he might never use his arm again or be able to use his quirk in the same way ever again, even though oh my God, the things that he was doing, it was so fucking cool how he has leveled up so much. I hope that he can get back to that point. But also, I don't think there's a villain or an enemy large enough to need to push to get to that point, So that's something to keep in mind. But the reaction that Bakugo had learning about his arm versus the reaction that Bakugo had when Deku said he was quirkless. Yes, they're very different, and I want to bring something up. Or I'm going to try to bring this up. But I just got really emotional, and I think it's because it's a vulnerable thing. But what I can say about that is, of course, that reaction I didn't even think twice about. I figured he would be way more emotional about learning that Deku was quirkless again. What a crazy circle. What insane things that those two have been through together. And to end up quirkless at the end of all of this again is wild. But for him, it's sort of no problem. That's fine. I'll train. It's okay. I don't care. I will do the physical therapy forever, as long as it takes. He was okay, I'm gonna start right now. Let's go. And then the doctor was you gotta rest right now. Doctor says rest. And I have a very personal experience to this. I wasn't a hero in a war, okay? I didn't save the fucking day. But I've been a professional athlete for over 10 years, and I had such intense tunnel vision. Damn, guys, I'm gonna cry talking about it, but I really want to talk about it. Because I think it'll allow you guys to understand why I connect so much to this story. Why I love these characters so much. Oh, okay. Just gotta suck it up. Oh man, maybe I won't dive into it too much just because apparently I can't talk about it right now. But I just was very focused and very motivated to the point where I did a lot of damage to my body. But as long as I achieved my goal, it didn't matter. I had tunnel vision, I knew what I wanted, and I was gonna get it. So I can relate a lot to these kids, to these heroes, to Bakugo and to Deku. I'm making myself cry before I even watch the episode. But I understand the physical sacrifice. I understand the training. I understand the hard work. I understand all of it. And I think you'd only really be able to understand it if you're at that sort of professional level. And there's not a lot of people I can speak to about it. So yeah, when I say these kids are bonded, yeah. At the end of the day, only a handful of people will really understand the sacrifices that they've given and what they've been through. So I've had to undergo major surgery. People said I might never be able to do what I do again, but I didn't listen to them. I did physical therapy for like 2 years, 3 times a week. Every single day I would be working towards returning, and I did. And I did it, and I continued to do it, and I still do it. Bakugo, it's the same thing. I think it doesn't matter. He has the mental fortitude and the willpower. He has the drive and the want. He will train his Quirk. Maybe it'll be different. Maybe it will feel different, like it felt different for me. But he will achieve it. If you guys are interested and you want to know more about like my journey professionally, I've done like interviews and a bunch of other stuff in like my other world over there, where I'm not like a YouTuber. I'm not like a YouTube reaction person. I'm her. Like, that's me. And I would love to share that with you if you guys are interested, but I won't go into too many details other than the surgery that I needed to get only really happens when people decide to retire. But instead, I got it and then decided to return on a professional level and achieved it. That's the kind of person I am. And that's being very vague as well about all of it. But it's hard to talk about, apparently. I'm like crying over here, just trying to bring up a simple comparison between like my lived experience and these characters. And so I completely get, like when Bakugo learned about his arm, it was sort of the same as me. I learned about what needed to happen. I mourned it for maybe a little bit and then decided that, I was going to make the most of it and put in the work to make sure that I can continue doing what I've always dreamed of doing, so I can continue my profession. Through that entire transition period, that's when I started this channel. I needed an outlet. I needed like a distraction, and I needed to do something and dive into something else that I loved so that I would stop thinking so much or spiraling, to prevent myself from like spiraling into like dark places of doubt. It's kind of one of the reasons why I started this channel. Wild, right? And so this is why I love my hero. This is why I love these characters. They're pushing themselves. Like, I was in so much pain and I wouldn't be able to walk. Intense fight or flight, survival instinct kind of thing. It got to the point where I had to stop and get the surgery and realize I was doing irreplaceable damage to my body. But yeah, there was a certain point where I was not going to stop and I was going to keep going. But yeah, I've been through it. And I just wanted to, I guess, bring that up and say that I love these characters. And I think it makes sense that Bakugo would be more upset about learning about Deku being Quirkless than learning about his own issues, because it's easier to fix your own issues sometimes. All right, well, that was a pretty long discussion. Let's dive into the episode. I think it's because it's the end of the season and I want to gush. I want to talk about it with all of you. These videos are going to be longer because of that. I'm not just going to sit down and push record and watch the episode. I have a lot to say. And it's this episode and then one more, which is insane. So feel free to leave all your paragraphs down below in my comment section. I cannot wait to read all of them. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to that. That went in a million different places, but I appreciate you guys so much for being here and for watching My Hero Academia with me. Let's dive into this brand new episode and see what happens. I'm looking forward to just seeing where this story goes and how we're going to begin to wrap up these characters. Oh my God. Yeah, without further ado, it's My Hero Academia. Let's go. Oh my god. Okay. Wait, this is cute. They were both really amazing. My god, everyone looks exhausted and damaged. Look at her. I can't even believe that she's alive after what happened to her and like what we saw happen to her. Her skin's just fine? Just fine. Okay, it might feel safer to just be in here. Also, Hawks. I can't, guys. I haven't even talked about that. I'm not even sure if I can. There's only so much I can process at once. They were amazing. Oh, look at him. Oh. You villain. Wait, that's so cute. What? Oh my god, they're adorable. You villain. And he stuck his tongue out at her. These two, because they've had to do a lot of difficult things. I love this right now. Man, Hawks looks so sick. It makes sense though that she wants to see what kind of world is gonna come out of all of this. Like, what is society going to turn into? She doesn't want to be used again, and I completely get that. Cute! Like, are we never gonna see, oh, these two, are we never gonna see Deku ever kick ass like this ever again? Look at him. I'm beginning to just, I'm so depressed for so many different reasons. Oh, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know what kind of callbacks they're about to make, but I gotta say that that woman, and I don't know if it's because of what she's wearing, but if you remember in Shigi's backstory, when he was a kid and it looks almost like the same street, and he was walking and he had just accidentally killed his entire family, and he was saying, if one person reached out, if one person, but no one did, and he accidentally bumped into someone that kind of looks, I swear, if this is the same person, that would be insane. How she's saying it makes you think, I wonder if something could have changed. Like, I wonder if it could have been prevented. Yeah, if someone reached out a helping hand, and I remember he looked up into that woman's face and she was scared. People just like averted their gaze and they were scared instead of what Deku does constantly, reaching out a helping hand, even if he's scared to do it, even if it's a scary thing and you're not really sure if your hand's gonna be rejected. I don't know. Maybe she's just reminding me of that woman, or maybe it is actually her. That would be crazy though. Oh. Yeah. Whoa. What? Oh my god, Spinner! Deku's face. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Look at his face! Look at that expression! Same with Deku, too. The look on Deku's face. So he was probably called in. What is this, an interrogation? I was about to say, yeah, like Deku, the one who saved the world, basically. But look at him in his school uniform, because he's a kid. I wonder if he's going to give Spinner the message that he got from Shigi. No way. Oh my god, we're getting right to it. Oh, that's what he said. Wow. Oh. Whoa. Oh! Deku's so calm. Deku's like, this is nothing. Are you fucking kidding me? Also, aren't you quirkless now? What is he gonna do? He's so calm. I can't handle it. I can't even believe he was just like, just Just wait 1 minute. Let him get it out. He called Deku a murderer. Deku didn't deny it. Oh man. I have always really appreciated their bond, Shiggy and Spinner, and he just said it. He was Spinner's hero. Oh, look at him mourning. Oh. Yeah.
あいつらのヒーローにならなきゃって言ってた。
Oh.
死柄木の心の真ん中にはヴィラン連合がいたよ。きっと死柄木も同じことを思っていたから君には伝えたかったんだと。
Wait, I could cry. He was always the one checking on Shiggy first.
つくづく気づくのが遅すぎた。もう一歩進んでいれば。俺は俺のヒーローを救え
Could
たのだろうか。
I've saved my hero? Oh my god. That's all?
お前たちはこれからも戦い続けるんだろう。そしていずれ死柄木弔もヴィラン連合も忘れて笑うんだろう。本を書く。死柄木弔という恐怖の象徴をヴィラン連合は壊すために生きたと英語をお前たちに。
I don't think that they'll ever forget what happened.
過去は消えない。俺が死柄木弔を紡ぐ。
Wow.
コミックだといいな。
あ、
Oh.
一生忘れない。
Oh my god, look at that face.
これからも伝言だ。タコに頑張れよって。
Oh. Wait, that's so cute. Are you kidding me? So Deku came there just to share that message. He's gonna write a book because he probably thinks they're just gonna go on smiling and fighting, but he doesn't want them to forget. But of course they won't. There's too much devastation. That look on Deku's face might be one of my favorite looks. How he was like, we won't forget. Not just because of all of the damage that was done. I mean, of course, Deku's never gonna forget. He gained a quirk, he lost a quirk during this whole ordeal. Okay? It's been a wild fucking year. But they'll also never forget because it shows such a good example of how bad things can get. All of society is basically gonna reset because of him, because of Shiggy, because of All for One, because of the League of Villains. And yeah, all of these child heroes' lives will be changed forever, but so will the next generation. No one's ever gonna forget this. Not just because of the damage done, but because of the warning that can come from this. I love how Spinner is drawn here. He looks so menacing and really cool. And I'm gonna say I'm sad for him because, yeah, he was the only friend that he had. I love this writing. He looked up to him. Shiggy was so many things for Spinner. I love this moment and that face. Jeez. And Deku saying, I hope it's a comic book, it kind of made me think of All for One.
一生忘れない。
So brave of Deku. I love this so much. How can you not believe that face?
タコに頑張れよって。
Wow.
確かに挿絵くらいはあってもいいかもな。絵は
Stop it!
教育も国境も超えていく。
I just got chills.
おかえり少年。
I just said it reminded me of All for One, like his backstory and how he looked at comics with his brother and the inspiration that he got from it. Is that really their place? I was gonna say it looked familiar. That can't be. It's just resembling it. Those are the same comic books though, I think. Oh man, that gave me chills.
そうだ、頼まれていた千崎の件だが。
What?
みっともねえ姿だな。
Now what?
親父、寝たきりだったはずじゃ。
What?
もう組はねえ。人の道外れちゃいけねえ。そうなるからだよ。
Mm-hmm.
黒野は叱ってくれなかっただろう。ごめん。ごめん。遅えよ。そのセリフは
It's
生
too
涯
late.
エリへ向けろ。エリはお前を忘れるが、お前はエリにしたことを忘れるな。
Wow. Seriously.
てめえがくたばるまで俺がずっと
Has he even apologized to her?
スカウトさん、ありがとうございます。
Wow,
いい
Deku.
よエリちゃんに思い出させるよりよっぽどいい。
こんなことなくなるんでしょう。
Yeah. Stop it. He looks completely normal from this side. Did they do that on purpose? This side's just fine. It looks completely normal. For a split second there, I forgot. Oh my gosh. This is pretty insane. Yeah, we're getting closure with a lot of different things.
ホークスにヒーロー土着層増やしてもらおうか。
ホークス、 そんな強権あるんですか？
冗談だよ。今日からは新入生も授業に参加する。
縦のつながりあんまりないから顔を合わせることも。
Oh my god, they're famous. Wait. I was about to say, I'm not ready. Like, I can't handle meeting the first years. So what, they're second years now? I can't do this. This is so weird. Right. You don't usually see the other years. Okay, yeah, but they've all saved the world. So, of course this would happen. Dynamite Senpai?
集計でオール・フォー・ワンとの戦いを見て私は体育祭轟先輩が
Oh my god.
話せるんだ。
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, what did Shoto say? I'll talk to you one at a time. I love him. Honestly, I would be in that group with all of them. I'd be like, oh my god, my idols. It's Shoto and Dynamite. They're so cool. I saw them fighting. I mean, can you imagine seeing Bakugo's fight with All for One broadcasted? Then like a few weeks later, you're going to this school and you see him in the hallway. I would die. I'd be like, oh my god, bro, can I shake your hands? What? Oh my god, Ida protecting. Class rep, they were running? Bakugo.
バクゴーってワーキャーされるの好きだと思ってたけど。
数が多すぎ。さすがに困惑してるな。昔からかっちゃん割と女性に距離を置かれてたから慣れてないのかも。
What?
意外じゃねえだろよ。ヤンキーがモテるのは認められん。
いいな。とっとといいね。
確かに意外じゃなかった。
先輩。
Deku's face. Oh my god, he's like, yeah, same old. Also, Bakugo's stressing me out. He needs to stop yelling. Aren't we still recovering? He's being chased down the hall. I actually think it's funny that he used the rules in order to create an excuse to get all the first years away. He was like, class rep, they're running. I love seeing him here with them. This is so cool. He's gonna have to quickly get used to this entire class's dynamic. Denki, you're better than that. Come on. At least I want you to be better than this. Girls have always kept their distance from Kacchan. Well, I mean, yeah. All Bakugo does lately, up until this point, has been screaming. He just screams a lot, you know? A lot of explosions. And he's kept to himself mostly, too. So why would a girl approach him? Midoriya Senpai? Oh. Oh.
いや、この痛みは。
The fuck is happening to you? Why are you bleeding? You're... It looks like... Okay. Are you dying? I think he's dying in this episode. You can't handle if a delinquent's popular with the girls. Okay, oh my god, look at Kirishima just proud of his bro. What? Okay, there's a lot going on. Deku's not okay. I think there's like a pain in his heart or something. Is it guilt? Maybe because he feels like he didn't do what he really wanted to do, or even though the conversation that he had with All Might where he was wondering if he really did save Shigi, like he was saying to All Might, like, I feel like I failed. I don't know if I did what I wanted to do for his soul. Maybe that's the pain he's feeling. It's just interesting that we get him thinking about Spinner. That's disgusting. What's going on? Her eyes are glowing. What is she thinking? Okay. 2A. Sorry, wouldn't some of them want to do it like Minata? What would he say? Also, whoever wants to interview probably doesn't want to interview Minata. Okay, so they're 2A. Are they 2A now because it's year 2?
そうじゃないやつもいるんで、そっち優先です。
I think Eraserhead's trying to protect the kids. Oh my god! Yay! Cute! So he's just... I'm so we're just gonna accept. The last time we saw him was in season 7 when he was protecting Bakugo. He was at that kid's dead body. He was at his side as Edgeshot was willing to sacrifice his life. And we're just gonna cut to him here. He looks great. He looks fine. He doesn't have blood all over him. Wow. Sorry, that just was it was startling. I'm glad to see he's okay. It's nice that he's here too. I think especially for this class, it's nice to see familiar faces. I don't know. That guy is. Back Suneater sidekick. Wait. Through the shock of seeing Best Jeanist, I didn't catch that. So Suneater graduates immediately. He's a sidekick for Fat Gum. I love it. Of course he is. That makes sense. It's official. How cute. Let's go, Shoto. Was that? Oh.
やっぱそのままなんすか。気にするな。手ができた。元には戻るんすか。
Just give me a second. Just give me a second before this moment happens with these 3 characters and I lose it. Was that Deku? Was he using? What's that little green thing I see? What is that? What is Deku doing? He has like arm braces or something. Careful! I'm like on edge. I know that there's still that little flame inside of him, but we can't push ourselves. We need to better understand what's going on with him. But I was not expecting to see any kind of beautiful green light from him. And then like, look at him. Okay, that's his bad arm. He's carrying something small with his other arm. It's cute and weird. He's calm. He's helping. He's like listening. He's like doing the work. It's weird. Also, that looks like some sort of compression or a brace or something for his arm because it's gonna be recovering for a while. You're still badly stressed denim. Oh, there's a racer head. Wow, everyone's here. I love that we're getting a moment with these characters after all of the trauma that happened. I thought he was gonna die. That hardly sounds like Bakugo. Oh, wait, that was so cute. What kind of little shaky smile was that? What is going on? Oh, adorable. Get it, Kirishima. Aww. This is sweet. I'm just looking at everyone per usual. Deku! Oh my gosh. We got Shinso here as well. That's amazing. Man, poor Bakugo. That was really sweet. That was like such a little weak smile. Like, who are you now? Oh. It's like, sorry I blew up your house. Aww. Oh, the first years? Oh. Why'd you bring them? Oh my god. Wow. The wind. Are you okay? Oh, good. Cute. Cute. What is going on? Oh? She's not responding to my text messages. What is going on with the heartbeat? This is now 2 episodes in a row. Does Deku realize that there's something off with her? Are we gonna talk about it? Is she gonna talk about her feelings? I don't know. I don't know if she's ready. I don't think she can. I think that all of these kids are dealing with a lot. There's a lot that happened. It was all very, very traumatizing. Deku can't even take a compliment. He feels bad about almost everything, it seems like. And I'm not even ready to comprehend the fact that there's first years here and they're upperclassmen. Like, this is crazy to me. Something's wrong, though, with her. I think that he notices. I mean, maybe she could be busy with her family. Oh, God. We're going back to this? Well, Tsu was there. She... Oh.
あの日私たちの結末はカメラには映らなかった。
Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay.
もう街並みが元通りだ。明るく前向きに取り戻していく時だもん。
Okay.
私はみんなが笑ってるのが好き。水を差したくない。
Oh.
だからずっと痛むこの傷もしまっておくんだ。
No.
ちゃこちゃんは正しいことをするだけでよかった。余計なこと考えて人の喜ぶ顔が好きだった。
Oh no.
だからヒーローを目指したのに、卑弥呼ちゃんの命の上に生かされた私のしたことは。
Oh my god! Deku.
ここがどうやって。
なんとなくワンフホールで飛んできた。ここは
Why do they both look so
大切な話をし
beautiful?
た場所だから。
Yeah.
なんで見られたくない。
Because she's sobbing her eyes out.
でも見せてほしいんだ。だってうららくさんはいつもそうじゃないか。
Look at him! What the okay. And I was wondering if it was the same view. Wait, I need to hear what the voice actor, what she was doing before she broke, because this is where we had that important conversation. Yeah. And she was just looking out at the view saying, okay, things are going back to normal. And can I just say that her almost falling down on her knees right here reminds me of the exact moment where Deku was clenching himself at the end of season 6. Almost like he fell to his knees and he was sobbing at the end of like his dark Deku moment, and it was her and her words that she was saying and how she was helping him. It almost looked the exact same way, and the sound that her voice actor made, like it hurt to even try to get out the cry. It was almost exactly the same as what was going on with Deku visually and the sound of her crying. So she doesn't want to share with anyone. And Deku, I'm so happy. Okay, I'm so excited to see what's about to happen. Deku's incredible. He didn't ask for permission. Makes me think of that hero quote. But that's a really heavy thing. And it wasn't filmed, so no one really knows. And that's also too complicated to begin to talk about or describe. And she just wants to see everyone happy. So she's deciding to keep in that pain, the guilt, the suffering, so that everyone else can begin to be happy. Because she doesn't want to burden anyone with her pain. Deku's about to be her hero though right now, I swear. This moment, guys.
私のしたことは。
My god. Deku?
どうしてここがどうやって。
ワンフホールで飛んできた。
He flew here using one for all? How many times is he going to be able to do that, guys?
帰れてたら帰れてたでいいんだってうららくさんはいつもそうじゃないか。
私の個性ごめんね勝手に。
合否のポイントのことだって。
私のポイントを分けるって。
Oh.
ずっといつも。
でもデクって頑張れって感じでなんか好きだ私。デク君落ち着けられるの。ヒーローアカデミアでいさせてください。
自分のことより人を優先して体育祭の時だっていつもずっと助けられっぱなし
She's
だ。
beautiful. This is so beautiful.
僕のヒーローだ。
Oh.
手を握るだけで心が和らぐんだよ。
The VA.
ヒミコちゃん私のせいで死んじゃった。私が刺されなかった。あんな形でなくても見つけられる。
Oh my god.
子供の時に会えてたら違ったかな。
ヒーローが辛い時誰がヒーローを守ってあげられるだろう。
Deku.
僕も天候信楽戸村に同じ
This
こと
is
引きずって
beautiful.
4-1にも言われたよ。お前のしようとしている道は茨の道だって。
Yeah.
余計なお世話でも手
Wow.
を差し伸ばしていけばきっと必ず。
You guys. Oh, they're so cute. Oh boy.
ぶっ飛ばしてたけど残り火大丈夫か。
Wait.
どういうことなんだ。
水くせえんだよ。
Oh my gosh. Oh, my chest. Ow. Now I have chest pain. You guys. Bro, what's going on? I'm not ready for that. Look at him laughing in front of that statue that he made. Or at least I think he did. I think I saw some people in the comments wondering if he borrowed like Cemento's Quirk and did that. I'm like choking on my own tears. That was beautiful. The zoom in of the two of them, the way that Deku grabbed her hand and then the way that she began to let go and confess, that's how Deku feels too about certain things that happened with him and other people. Like, I'm so happy that they had that moment and how he said, "You're my hero." Of course she is. She's been amazing. The way that the VA almost whispers that, like it's gonna be okay. Those tears! Oh my god. Deku almost looks like a completely different person as well. I'm just so happy about this moment, I'm gonna be honest. Things didn't have to end like that. Yeah. This is as close to a hug as we'll ever get, guys. This is a beautiful moment. I feel sick. This is what Deku was saying about Shiki. If only we've met when we were little, like maybe you wouldn't have felt so alone. And then how... Yeah. This is gorgeous. That was beautiful. Oh my god, and the voice acting was incredible. Also the fact that they were all on their way anyways, but Deku ended up using one for all to get there faster. It's good because they had this moment, but we saw his flame get a little smaller. It's stressing me out. Now we have everyone else showing up. He could have arrived with all of them and not pushed, and then I can't with Bakugo being like, "How's that flame doing? Bro, you kind of got here fast. Was that wise?" And then everyone started asking him about what's going on with him. I like this though. On the cliff in the dark, as Eraserhead looks at them with a smile, he sees they're all talking about it. They're all slowly learning what happened to everyone. All of his classmates, they don't know what's going on with Deku either. And I'm so happy that through this, Uraraka is able to sort of release this pain that's inside of her and like share. And she didn't want to do that initially because she didn't want to make everyone upset, but we can't move forward unless we all sort of like talk it out and like share all of this. And they all love her so much, they would be upset if she didn't. Oh my god, no. Oh, his smile. Bakugo. Right, like Shoto doesn't even know. Oh, okay, so after this evening, maybe everything's out on the table. Now we have this. Are you? With what? Okay. What is happening? Oh, cute! What? Is there an after credit scene? Oh, we might have an after credit scene. I can't handle this show ending right now. I can't do it. Okay, farewell party. Why is he saying I'm pulling the strings? That's class B, right? Yeah, all those characters. Okay. I'm a mess. What? What? What is that falls? Sounds like he's cutting hair. Who is this? What? Who is this? And what's that? Great. Is this someone who lost everything through this war, through the fight? Did his family die? Is he alone now? Is this the beginning of some horrible new villain? Who are you? What is that? Oh man. I'm getting depressed. Okay, so the last episode of My Hero Academia is here. We have one episode left after that. My heart hurts a lot. That was a beautiful moment with Deku and Uraraka. Bakugo is so different as well in this whole episode. I love that Bakugo and Shoto were running from girls and from like the new students down the halls. I love that one of them poked his head in and said, Izuku? Like Izuku sensei. Oh my god. You've inspired me. I saw what you did. I mean, of course, this class and these students, like I've been saying, they've inspired an entire generation. There was a moment in this series where everyone was struggling and in fear of what is next after All Might. Who's going to replace him as a hero? We had a small moment with Endeavor, but at the same time, the battle was really escalating. And it just wasn't the same, of course. It wasn't the same as the era that All Might brought on. It had its positives, but of course it also had its negatives. It made all the other heroes become complacent because even, as a hero, you can rely on All Might because All Might is there and he's strong. And everyone is so fearful of All Might being around that no one's even challenging to like come out and do anything really bad. I haven't talked about this in a video yet, but it is a great representation if you think about how Mount Lady was at the beginning of this whole series. Same with Midnight, Mount Lady, how they were doing commercials and they had these brand deals and they were playing hero, but they weren't actually out there risking their life in the same way that you now see like through this whole war what Mount Lady has done. She is amazing. Like her growth within the series is really cool. She has become a true hero as well. She stepped up. She really, really stepped up the whole entire war. In season 6 and season 7, she was kicking ass and she almost died so many times. Midnight died because of this and because of how intense the threat was. It's important to remember. We started the series off with a lot of these heroes pretending. They're just like, oh yeah, want to walk around and patrol with me? It's really fun. And then we have a brand deal later. We're going to do some modeling, like with Momo and also Minata, you know what I mean? Like, what was that? That was at the beginning. But yeah, now I think we're going to get a whole new breed of hero after what happened with these students and how they stepped up in a way that no one else could after All Might was done. Like not even Endeavor could do anything. And Endeavor is very strong. The villains, like it just really, really got out of hand because the second that All Might wasn't there, they were like, this is our chance. This is our shot. And I think out of everything that just happened, they've learned as a society to make sure to not allow this to happen again, to not become complacent, to do our best. And I think the whole reset of the society and what people think as a hero and who a hero is, it's all being recreated. And these new kids, this new generation being brought up, have all of these kids that are pretty close in age to them being idolized. They look up to them and they're so close in age that it feels tangible. Like, oh, I could do that too. If I put in the work, if I dedicate myself. And I think that's good. I think it's really good because you never know when evil will strike. You never know when the next thing will happen. And the way that episode just ended concerns me. Also, Deku's Ember is concerning me. The way that Bakugo asked about it too was really funny. But yeah, I can't wait to read your guys' comments. There's so much that happened and I have already talked for so long. I really look forward to reading what you guys have to say. I can't believe the next episode is the last episode. I don't even know how I'm gonna handle that or what I'm gonna do. I guess I should briefly, I know, man, this video is already so long, but I do want to briefly bring up because we did get that encounter with Best Jeanist and Bakugo in this episode, and I have been waiting to talk about this, and I want to know what you guys think. And, you know, I'm not really super prepared to have this discussion right now. I don't have any notes in front of me about it, but just off the top of my head, I do want to bring up how important Best Jeanist is to Bakugo as a person, as a young boy, and as like a hero. You know, Bakugo being the stubborn child that he is, his first like intern thing, the only reason why he chose to go to Best Jeanist was because he was the number 3 hero. It was a stat thing. He was like, it'll look good, it's impressive. Like, Bakugo did it for all the wrong reasons. But then he came out of that experience learning something. He learned a lot. The things that Best Jeanist talked to him about being a hero, it was like the seeds of a new way of thinking for Bakugo. I think that the things that Best Jeanist said to him during that time, and then he went missing, it was also around the same time where, okay, then we had all the dorms, then the dorm arc happened, and you know, we didn't really see a lot of Bakugo because he would go to sleep early. I think what was going on with Bakugo off screen when we didn't see him is he was in his room contemplating his own fucking reality. I think he was processing everything, and I think that's when he was doing the growth, the personal growth, because he was reflecting. I think that he was struggling with a lot of things, but he was probably thinking about what Best Jeanist told him when he spent time with him at his agency, and he learned, you know, about patrolling the streets, and he learned a lot from him. And then to hear, after the whole thing that happened with All Might, how he was blaming himself for that happening, the argument and the confrontation he had with Deku, all of that. That was the moment where off screen, he was growing. He was doing like that character development. He was processing everything because all that happened with his kidnapping and stuff, right? And then also you learn that Best Jeanist is missing. And that's, I think, also when he decided his hero name and who he was going to tell. And he was going to wait until Best Jeanist was back. And then that's the person he was going to announce himself to. I just wanted to bring up that I think that in that moment in the dorms, whenever he would go to bed early, like that's when he was doing that work, when he was looking in and maybe reconsidering some of his behaviors, maybe thinking about who he wants to be as a person and as a hero, what happened to All Might, how he treats Deku, what happened to Best Jeanist, what am I gonna do moving forward? A lot of things. That's when it was happening. And I just love their relationship. I love when he did come back, Bakugo announced himself and his hero name. I love that Best Jeanist was there by Bakugo's side, by his dead body, making sure that he would come back no matter what. It's just a beautiful bond between like student and mentor, and it's a rare one that we don't really see a lot in the series, and it's this really nice through line that it's not like you need to notice it and connect the dots. You need to connect the gene thread to see it. But I wanted to bring it up because it deserves to be talked about, especially now that we're towards the end. We are at the end. I wanted to give a massive shout out to Best Jeanist and Bakugo and that relationship, and how I really do think that Best Jeanist was a huge part of why Bakugo is how he is right now. And because Bakugo decided to do the work. You know, he decided to sit there in the dark probably and process a lot until he fell asleep. He probably did that every single night. That's my headcanon anyways, that's what was going on, and that's why he was always going to bed early. I think that also he just likes his sleep, but he was also going through a lot, and I think that he was allowing himself to be alone with himself and reflect. And people don't just suddenly change for the better unless you do that work yourself. So yeah, shout out to Best Jeanist. Shout out to Bakugo, of course. Shout out to Edge Shot. My gosh, I thought he was gonna die. I can't believe that he's gonna slowly grow his body back. That's crazy. And that was the first little weak smile that we've seen on Bakugo's face since the battle and then like that hospital scene. I'm so anxious about the last episode. I'll be reading your comments and I will be geeking out about My Hero Academia all week until we get the last episode. And then yeah, I guess we'll see what happens after. I think we get an OVA. Let's see if they announce any new projects. Fingers crossed. Let me know down below in the comments what you would want to see from My Hero Academia in the future. Yeah, guys, this video is an insanely long video for one episode. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you very soon. But until then, that's Flexi out, guys. Take care. Bye. See ya.